So a few days ago, I got this message via Instagram and it said, yo, Sensitive, you need to cover how Adam22, aka Adam16, that's a meme, we're gonna talk about that in a bit, is only doing the clout run to hide his pedo/grooming allegations. Now, this is a very popular theory that I've seen on Twitter and even in my own comment section and others that I've seen, where people are saying, yeah, Adam is playing into being a loser, a soy boy, a cuck, whatever you want to call him. So people focused on that and people ignored the whole situation with the 16-year-old girl that happened back in 2010. And the person who sent me this message also sent me links, sent me old tweets of Adam22 being pretty weird. I've only seen a handful of people talk about this situation. I think it's important. I think it's very interesting to talk about these allegations. So one of the first screenshots they sent me is this one, the infamous video of 30-year-old Adam22 recording 16-year-old Lil Pump getting head. If this was just a random ass person, a random 30-year-old man hanging out with the 16-year-old and him recording the 16-year-old getting head, if this person wasn't rich or famous, they would have been arrested. There's no reason why a 30-year-old man needs to be hanging around with a 16-year-old kid like Lil Pump. And Adam22 has also been exposed by Lil Pump, my favorite rapper of all time. You know, his bars are just off the chains or off the charts. Yes, this is Lil Pump, but I don't know, just something that I thought it would be interesting to show and to bring up. Since they used to hang out together, since they used to be friends, you just don't let anyone record you getting head when you're 16 by anyone. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be kind of close or at least care a little bit about the person.
Y'all know now, I was 16, fucking girls my age, right? Adam was fucking girls that was the same age as me when I was 16. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? You are a straight pedo.
And then we get into the tweets. What's with all these cute little girls adding me? Send me a message so I know who you are. This is back from 2009. So that means that Adam22 was 26 years old when he tweeted something like this. Right now, I believe he's 39 or 40. So yeah, the number is right. He tweeted this, or allegedly tweeted this, back when he was 26 years old. Very interesting to say the least. Then we get this other tweet. My advice to any young girls out there, sleep with much older men. This is back from 2012. You ever get so mad because of a traffic jam that you just want to roam the streets and art people? Yeah, I mean, just everyday stuff for me. Whenever I'm stuck in traffic, this is the first thing that I think of. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and just be like, yeah, this was sarcastic, you know, this was a joke. But with the context of the blog that he himself wrote and admitted to, that's something that he wrote back in 2010. And this is the last tweet that we have. Can all the hot high school students stop following me on Instagram? I have enough temptation in my life as is. Back from 2012. This was Adam22 at the age of 29. And when you think about it, everything kind of makes sense and everything kind of falls into place, right? This is just my opinion, right? I'm just speculating. I'm not saying this is 1000% factual. As this was picking up traction recently, all of the cuck stuff happens, all the videos comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam was like, yeah, I'm just going to go into full iDubbbz mode, full Destiny mode. I'm going to be a cuck, play into it so I distract people. The timing is very convenient. That's all I'll say. It's very convenient. So Adam22 gets married, and like a week or two later, his wife wants to shoot her first ever video with a male after being together for like 6 years. You know, the timing is really fucking strange if you ask me, because if this gets out and more people talk about this, it could end this guy's career. I mean, to be realistic, no one really cares about No Jumper. I think the last time it was hot was back in 2019, back in 2020. Like, No Jumper is legitimately on live support right now. Now we get into the juicy story of him and allegedly a 16-year-old girl. This is a story about love. Well, no, but it's a story about a girl, one girl in particular, a girl who's a bit of an internet legend in her own right, even though right now she's still just 19 years old. This story begins quite a long time ago when I was just 23 years old, and at the time I was posting heavily on the B9 board, and Desiree, I believe that's how you pronounce it, posted on there too. She had already carved out quite a reputation. One night in particular, we ended up talking on the phone, and she went into vivid detail about how she wanted me to come to Canada to see her and to have sex with her. I won't even bother telling you all the things that she described wanting me to do. The conversation left me hot and bothered, to say the least. Now, any of the math inclined out there are probably reading this and thinking something like, she's 19 now, you were 23 then, how old was she back then? Well, she was 16 years old. So a 23-year-old man was hanging out with the 16-year-old. He was in the US, he was from Canada. I think you guys are starting to see what could go wrong here. If I am not mistaken, if you fly over to a country, let's say you're 24 years old and you go to a different country for sex, that is illegal. The age of consent in Canada is 16 years old, but the age of consent in the US is 18. So if you're 23, you cannot fly out to Canada Canada be with a 16-year-old girl? Because in your country where you're from, the age of consent is 18. And if you're 18 in Canada and you're Canadian, sure, you can do it technically, but you cannot do it from America, going there for, you know what I mean? Like, that's illegal. That's where we start getting into the this could get me in jail kind of stuff. Well, she was 16, but come on, man, look at her. She's 18 or 19 in most of these pics here, but she didn't look much different at all then. If statutory rape is wrong, I didn't want to be right. Like, why would you ever block this, right? Like, if you were to do it and you did it, you know, that's disgusting and all, but at least, you know, you didn't leave any quote-unquote proof. This does not help your case at all. Oh yeah, you know, she wanted this, and I'm 23, she was 16, but you know, in Canada it's legal, but at the same time, I'm from the US. Not looking the best right now. This is legitimately grabbing a gun from your drawer, pointing it at your head, and pulling the trigger on your whole career. Now, I can make the argument that the age of consent is 16 in Canada, although I'm not sure that traveling from America to Canada to have sex with a minor is still illegal as hell, but really, fucking argument. She was stupid hot and I wanted in. He let his 3 a.m. thoughts take over. Jesus fucking God. You cannot pay me enough for me to admit this. Oh yeah, you know, I flew to Canada, I flew to fucking Japan because I'm 13-year-old as a 24-year-old man. Is that even legal? Even if it was, it's just so fucked up. You know, I'm 24 years old, similar to the age of Adam22 in this situation, and I could not imagine flying to a different country to meet a 16-year-old girl who's at a completely different stage of her life than I am right now. They're barely in high school. They have high school drama, high school issues, teen issues. Well, I don't care how bad the person is. Two completely different things. Maybe we could be friends, but you know, date them, spend time with them, being with them together. It's like, you know, no matter how hot they are, I will feel extremely uncomfortable being 24 years old and dating a 16-year-old girl. The youngest I would date would be like 18, 19. It would just feel wrong, in my opinion. I flew to Vancouver and she met me at the airport. Her makeup was even more caked on than normal. Her hair was big. She was wearing denim jacket and her tits were hanging out. 16-year-old titties out, you know, who doesn't love that? EDP, I'm sure he does. I would soon learn that her tits were always hanging out. I mean, they were gigantic, so it would often be inevitable, no matter what she wore, that they will see the sun. But I don't think we ever spent a second together in which at least 30% of her boobs weren't out on display. You're a grown-ass man. I met her mom that night too, and that was something else. Her mother still has hardcore Romanian accent despite living here for 20 years or something, and she introduced me quickly to the wild world of Canadian racism, which is always fun. You know, the tweets don't look the best. Lil Pump exposing him don't look the best. The pedal busters exposing him and Adam getting bitchy and uncomfortable and kicking him out really doesn't look the best when they brought up the whole story, this blog that he himself wrote.
Pretty much. So look, bro, I can't look. I'm a perv buster. I catch online pedophiles. So we talking about the whole lust situation and everything, but I'll be a hypocrite if I don't address the situation that happened with you.
There is no situation with me.
The one where you was messing with the 16-year-old girl?
What do you think happened? The article says
I'm going on
19 when I met her.
She was 19 when you met her?
Yeah. The article says it.
So, but what did you say?
I said that I spoke to her on the phone when she was 16 before I realized that she was.
All right, well,
that's how we catch a lot.
That's how we catch him.
Canadian. She didn't even know that she was doing something fucked up.
It don't even matter, but that's how we catch him.
You felt like you were gonna come on my platform and expose me though. Like, why?
No, it was just in the midst of the conversation. It was in the midst of he didn't. Hey, it's not on him on nothing. It was in the midst of the conversation.
But you came on my platform and spread lies like that.
Lies?
Lies.
Is it lies?
I mean, you could have done some research and figured out any.
Did you talk to her when you were 16?
For like 5 minutes when I was 20. For like 5 minutes.
The more and more I look into it, he's doing all this crazy dancing, so people are distracted. They're like, hey, look at me. I'm a loser. I'm a cuck. I fell off. Don't look at the allegations that are coming up, right? Once again, shout out to the person who sent me this via Instagram. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like this video, share it. I would really appreciate if you guys shared it around and you subscribe to the channel. That would be great. More videos like this to come. And with that said, I'll see you next time, all right? Peace.